So good evening and welcome everybody to the Town Board of the Town of Austin regular meeting for Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Am I holding the flag backwards? I don't even know what it looks like.
Councilmember Feldman,
Present.
Councilmember Shaw,
Present.
Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Councilmember Wiltshire,
Present.
Supervisor Levenberg.
I am here.
Okay. We're going on to announcements.
Okay, so we are starting off with a very important reminder. The first half of school taxes for the Austin and Briarcliff school districts are due to the town tax receiver by September 30th. If you pay your taxes directly as opposed to having them paid by a mortgage escrow account, please make sure to get your payment in on time. You have lots of options. Pay online, which is super easy. By mail, your envelope needs to have a postmark of September 30th at the latest to be considered timely, or in person at our offices at 16 Croton Avenue from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. And then the next day, which is Thursday, September 30th, the tax office will be open late until 6 p.m. You can also drop your envelope with payment in the dedicated mail slot at the Austin Post Office, which gets delivered to our offices the following day. Just don't forget to put a stamp on it and make sure it's in the box by 5 p.m. so that it will be postmarked that day. If it's there after 5 p.m., you're out of luck and it's late. Also, please be wary of online bill pay from your bank because these payments are not postmarked. And if they are not received in our office by the deadline, you will be assessed a penalty. Please instead consider paying your bill directly through our online payment feature on our website. We also know that with people back in offices, it may be more challenging to get local errands done during the work week. So if you need help paying timely or have questions, any at all, please call 914-762-8790 to speak to Honorable Holly Perlowitz, our town tax receiver, and her team are always more than happy to help with a big, cheesy smile. We are continuing to look for feedback on the town's new comprehensive plan entitled Sustainable Austining. The comprehensive plan is outlined into specific themes with draft goals, objectives, and strategies. We are interested in understanding you, our public's planning priorities. Please visit the project website at www.sustainableaustining.com to complete a survey that shares the draft objectives specific to carrying out the theme areas and goals. Take a moment to read each objective, then prioritize those that you would like to see the town focus on accomplishing in the near term. We look forward to sharing the full draft of the plan with the public in the near future. This Saturday, October 2nd, is Artoberfest at Bethany Arts Community from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. There will be plenty of music, art, food, and family fun to enjoy, but please remember to register in advance as there are only 85 tickets available per time slot. Tickets are available at bethanyarts.org. See you there. If Artober is just not enough crafts for you, for Artoberfest, there's good news. The Westchester Craft Crawl is back this weekend, October 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit tour stops at 26 Beach Road, 7071 Stone Avenue, right across the street from one another, and 55 Van Cortlandt Avenue in Austin, and 124 Maple Avenue in Croton to experience the full lineup of 48 craft and fine art vendors from across Westchester. I know none of us are quite ready for the holiday season yet, but you may want to get a jump start on your holiday shopping at the Craft Crawl to shop local, number one, and number two, avoid shortages expected at the big box stores as we get closer to the holidays. Galata House, who supported both restaurants, individuals, and families throughout the pandemic by securing meals to give away to the tune of over 100,000 meals, is hosting another community event with, you guessed it, free food starting at 5:30 at Lewis Engle Waterfront Park. It's a family concert night, I believe it's called, or family music night. It's this Tuesday, October 5th, with some super popular local bands to entertain you. Base Camp, featuring our own Kendall Buchanan, and they were one of our most popular summer concerts this year, starting at 6 p.m. And the John Bates Band, who played for us last summer online, starting at 8 p.m. Donations are, of course, most welcome, but everything else is free, as far as I know. Maybe not quite everything, because we're voting on something tonight and that might not be free. We know the pandemic continues to be a financial burden for so many in our community, and other assistance besides that free food is available for those who lost work or income as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, including for landlords, renters, and those who were excluded from other relief programs like unemployment and federal benefits. All you need to do to start the process of accessing these funds, if you believe you qualify, is dial 211. And honestly, you can just dial 211 to find out if you qualify too. It is as simple as that. That's a United Way helpline, and they will get you off on the right track. Please spread the word. We want to make sure these funds reach those who need the assistance. COVID booster shots are available for recipients of the Pfizer vaccine who completed their initial series at least 6 months ago and are either 65 years and older, 18 years and older with underlying medical conditions, or 18 years and older who work or live in high-risk settings like hospitals or nursing homes. If you are eligible, please get your booster now, as it will help protect you further from getting COVID-19 and therefore protect others as well. Also remember, now is the time to get your flu shot. Flu shots are available at most local pharmacies and healthcare providers. I keep hearing the term twindemic in the news to describe this year's flu season, and that does not sound good. Nothing against twins or anything. We like you twins, but we don't like twindemics. So please do your part to protect yourself, your family, your friends and coworkers, and our community as a whole against COVID-19 and the flu. And that is it for me. Do my board colleagues have anything to add?
I do. This weekend, Sunday, the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club is having its annual Kids Family Fun and Fishing Day. It's $10 a family, and that gets you fishing rods, baits, hot dogs, chips, drinks, rock painting, jewelry making, and a whole bunch of other crafts. So come on down to the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club. The kids have a great time. They catch a lot of fish, and there's people there to show them how, so their parents don't necessarily have to help if they don't want to or don't know how. Also, the Ossining Historical Society is celebrating 90 years this year. They have had to give up much of their regular fundraising and their events due to COVID. They've been put on hold. So they're starting off the celebration with a raffle. So it's $10 a ticket or $6 for $50. For tickets, see any member of the Ossining Historical Society or reach out on their website. I'm a member. I'm sure many of us are. Anyway, that's what I have.
Fantastic.
I just want to, I have one thing. I'm not getting, my computer's cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not getting everything that's being said.
Okay, well, good news is we're recording the meeting so we can show you, and hopefully we can hear you loud and clear. I don't know, did we just lose Councilman Wiltshire a minute ago? I thought I saw him move
I'm
boxes.
still here.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that we lost you, so hopefully you're in good shape right now.
Can you hear it now?
I see where, like, he's freezing, so maybe his internet connection is just going in and out.
It's usually mine. That's nice for a change. It's not me.
One of the things that you can try, Northern, you could try just turning off. You could just try turning off. You could just try turning off your video, just the video, and just listen if you'd like, and we won't see you, but we'll hear you. Sometimes that will help with your connection.
Okay.
Okay.
Turn off the video.
Your video, right? So you're going to still see us, but we won't see you. We'll just see
Okay.
your name. Okay.
Cause it's been cutting in and out. Cut off my video just
Okay. Do you want to try that? Okay. We're gonna continue on now. If there's no more announcements, we're gonna go for liaison reports. Are there any liaison reports? Okay, we are hearing no liaison reports. So we're going to move into our public
Ooh.
comment.
Sorry, one more. The Green Ossining tag sale is also this weekend. Did you announce that?
I did not actually announce that, so thank you for the reminder.
Okay,
Green Ossining Tag sale is October 2nd, I believe. Is that correct? Saturday? I'm
I
pretty sure
think
it's
so.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Saturday.
So go to the greenossining.org website for more information. But yes, absolutely. Sorry that we forgot to mention that. Green Ossining is a town-wide tag sale. And I believe at least definitely on their Facebook page, on Green Ossining's Facebook page, and also I believe on their website, they will have a map of all of the different locations, and they will also have little previews that people submit of some of the stuff that they're going to be selling. It's a great way for the community to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reuse being the operative word in this case. Reduce if you're actually selling stuff. And again, as I always say, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. Is that the expression? Maybe not exactly. Anyway.
And also as a bonus, there were like 50 houses that participated last time. But Trustee Dana White is the prior village historian, William Reynolds, is selling off many of Ossining historic treasures as well as some presidential treasures this time. So if you go to Trustee Dana White's house, she is in charge of that. So there's some real historical treasures available at her tag sale.
And she's around, I'm going to say around 18 Ellis, because she kind of like parallels my house, and I'm on M. Wilton, but I think she's around there on Ellis, pretty close. If I didn't,
One with the white picket fence.
One with the white picket fence on Ellis.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we can move to public comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody here who would like to comment on any of the agenda items before us this evening? And then we'll have general public comment toward the end of the meeting. But if anybody is here in the audience, please raise your virtual hand and make yourself known to us, and then we will recognize you if you want to speak on any of the agenda items. You raise your virtual hand by clicking raise hand at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and I think we do have one person who want to make a comment. Okay, and you have, what is it, 4 minutes, I believe?
Oh, even supervisor, members of the board, my name is Chuck Hutchig with Langen Engineering. There is an item on the agenda tonight relative to the Rinaldi subdivision, and I really only wanted to speak on that. I apologize if I.
No, you're in the right place. You're speaking at the right time in the right place. So off you go. What do you have to say?
I understand that the board is considering a resolution tonight, and there is one condition in the resolution that we'd ask that you consider potentially modifying, and that has to do only with all of the COs of the houses being issued before the road would be considered for dedication by the town. That there's no definitive time frame for the lots to be developed on. I mean, it could be, if we're lucky, it could be 2 years. If we're unlucky, it could be 5, 6, or 7 years. And so we were kind of hoping that there may be some middle ground on that condition that would allow us to offer the road for dedication sooner than all the houses receiving COs.
Supervisor, can I engage in this?
Sure.
The concern that from the consultant's perspective and my perspective is the town taking a road that is then going to be, worn down by construction vehicles and the development of the subdivision itself. The stormwater is going to have to be put in. And so that's kind of the rationale behind that. You had suggested a potential middle ground. Do you have any sort of like concrete concept that you would be willing to propose that would alleviate that concern from the town's perspective?
So very often when we find ourselves in this situation, and we understand the wear and tear issue, very often what we do is we build the entire road and all the stormwater related to it in accordance with town standards and get the appropriate inspections. but we don't put the top wearing course on, the top 1.5 inches of asphalt. And that's, and what that does is it ensures that construction traffic won't adversely affect that wearing course. And we keep a bond in place to cover that work to ensure it gets done. And then when all the houses are done in COs, then we put the top coat on the road and it looks like it's brand new. So that's a mechanism that I've used in many other municipalities to kind of, again, middle of the road kind of solution to what otherwise is pretty complicated to work out over what could be a 5 or 10 year span.
So I understand what you're proposing. So the developer, the applicant would remain responsible for the final development of the road at the end of the complete construction. It would just be that the town would accept it earlier. Is that what you're proposing?
Yes, so accept the road earlier with a bond in place to ensure that the top asphalt gets placed when all of the houses are done and all the construction activity is on.
How does that stand up to plowing?
Fine, it's an asphalt base, so it's fine. We protect the catch basins so they don't get hit by the plows, but it withstands that pretty well. We do this again in lots of other similar applications.
I would like to suggest that we consider either removing this resolution for tonight then and postpone it till our next regular meeting. Because I don't think that we're ready yet to work out the details. It sounds to me like there's still some complications, and I'm not prepared to recommend to the board that we accept it with just that amendment as you, Mr. Uchig, have suggested, because it sounds still, that doesn't, I mean, there's too many little complications. Like, so if the town were to accept it and anything were to happen in between, and we just have the bond there to put the top coat on, then it's our responsibility, but the road isn't really finished yet. So that could be 7 years, 10 years, anything like that. I'm not sure that we want that responsibility while the road isn't yet finished. I know that you would come to us specifically asking that we take the road, which we didn't want to do at all. This was sort of a compromise, a way around that, where we said we would take the road, but not the stormwater, and that you would need to come up to with something, and that we weren't planning to do that until the end. So, you know, if that we're not prepared to accept a revised resolution at this moment. We can consider it something, but we'd still need to be protected for however long the road was not finished.
Then I would respectfully ask that I could withdraw my request and leave the resolution as is.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
I'll also say is that this is a declaration of intent. This isn't, no formal action is being taken by the board tonight with respect to the road. It's for record purposes, so that you know, down the line when we get to that point, if and when, that there's a record of what the discussion was and what the intent of the board was. So regardless of whether the board is inclined to adopt the resolution tonight, there's still room for further exploration as to potential options if the board is inclined to go that route.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so with that, thank you very much. And is there anybody else here who would like to address the board on any of the agenda items?
This is usually in color, isn't it? It is not.
Seeing none, we can move into our board resolutions and turn it over to our deputy clerk, Martha Kugisaka.
Okay. Approval of minutes, regular meeting, September 14th, 2021. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the September 14th minutes of the regular meeting as presented. Sorry, it's an amendment there.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed as amended?
As amended, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Approval of voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the voucher detail report dated September 28th in the amount of $190,029.58.
Do you have a motion?
So moved. Second.
This is to make up for the very large one we had last time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Engagement letter PKF O'Connor Davies. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an engagement letter with PKF O'Connor Davies for assistance with review of the town's American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, spending and compliance related questions regarding ARPA.
Do I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
So as we discussed, thank you, in last week's town hall meeting, the town has received an allocation under the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA, of a little over $560,000. We received half of it. The guidelines from the Treasury, that's the allocation. We've received half of it so far in the bank. The guidelines from the Treasury are still a bit of a moving target, so we are engaging our auditing firm, PKF O'Connor Davies, to assist us in assuring we are following the latest information coming out of Washington. This assistance will be on an as needed basis, and we can ultimately charge these costs back to our ARPA allocation. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay. Appointment seasonal laborer. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin appoints Nicholas Ferraro Austin to the position of seasonal laborer in the town highway department at an hourly rate of $15 effective October 4th, 2021.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we welcome back Nick Ferreo for leaf season. Our highway department always needs some extra hands as the leaves start falling, and this will be Nick's second leaf season with us, so he is clearly an expert now. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
New York State Liquor Authority special event permit application 6 Degrees or Less Brewery for October 5th, 2021 rain date. Whereas at its August 31st, 2021 special meeting, the town board of the town of Austin authorized the supervisor to sign the landlord authorization form for the New York State Liquor Authority special event permit application made by 6 Degrees or Less Brewery to serve beer at a Galata House fundraiser scheduled to take place on September 16th, 2021 at Lewis Angle Park. And whereas the Galata House fundraiser was subsequently rescheduled for October 5th, 2021 due to forecasts of inclement weather. Now therefore be it resolved. The town board of the town of Austin retroactively authorizes the supervisor to sign the landlord authorization form dated September 22nd, 2021 for the New York State Liquor Authority special event permit application made by 6 Degrees or Less Brewery to serve beer at a Galata House fundraiser rescheduled for October 5th, 2021 at Lewis Angle Park, and be it further resolved that the applicant will provide proof of insurance and the letter of indemnity to the town in a form acceptable to council to the town.
Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
So as stated, the date of the Galata House fundraiser, as I mentioned earlier, was changed due to bad weather, requiring a revised landlord authorization form from the town. Hopefully everyone gets a chance to stop by Angle Park for the great music and some good eats, as well as some of these brews. And this is the part that I was saying, maybe this part isn't free, but hopefully everybody will enjoy the event. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Finance Capital Project Number 2021-5232, 2021 Morningside Drive and Court Paving Town Highway. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes opening a 2021 capital project number 2021-5232 titled 2021 Morningside Drive and Court Paving for the Town Highway Department with a project budget of $920,600 for paving, stripping, and curving on Morningside Drive and Morningside Court. The project will be funded from New York State CHIPS, Pave New York, and EWR grant funding for paving/stripping, and New York State multimodal grant funding for concrete curbs. The remaining balance will be funded from TOV and Highway Fund balance.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we are very excited to finally be getting this project off the ground onto the road. That has been much needed for some time now. We're even more excited that part of this project will be funded with state grant funds designated by Assemblywoman Sandy Galiff via the multimodal program and our CHIPS, Pave New York, EWR, I know I should know that, allocation. We also have Comptroller Dale Brennan on with us this evening. Ms. Brennan, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Thank you, Supervisor Bevenberg. Good evening, Town Board. Definitely, we've talked about this for a long time, so it's nice to finally get the words on the page too, and hopefully get this passed so that we can move forward. I just want to provide a comfort level in terms of, as you can see, we're using fund balance instead of incurring more debt, which is always good, especially if, as in our case, we have very healthy fund balance. The Comptroller's Office likes us to use it towards capital projects just like this, as well as still keeping a healthy level of fund balance. So for the TOV fund, we're going to allocate $500,000 towards this project, but we have 4.6 million in fund balance unassigned. And for the highway fund, we're going to use 123,000, of which we have 1.2 million in unassigned fund balance. So definitely still keeping a healthy balance. And since both TOV and highway are the same assessment base, we can use it from either or. So very exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for always giving us good direction and advice. And we are happy to be using that fund balance. So I think without further ado, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And the neighbors are going to be very happy after it's done, but not during. But hopefully during, they'll do a great job keeping the traffic flowing. So, and they are going to, there is curbing involved in this as well. So there's some concrete curbing, not the whole road, but parts of it where it's especially needed. So that should also be.
Do we have a start and finish date yet?
I don't believe we do, but we're going to have one very soon after today because we will be issuing a purchase order. And I think actually they said they were going to be starting in mid-October.
Yes, with the curbing.
The
And I
curbing.
also want to note that our curbing contractor is a certified MWBE, Minority Women Business Enterprise. So we're going to be meeting 100% of that goal for the grant funding that we're getting, which is also very exciting. And they're our annual bidder, so it's really good.
Very cool. And we're using green concrete. I should add. Awesome. Okay. So without further ado, I think, did we vote? We voted on that already, yes? Okay, fantastic. We're on to the next one.
Okay. Resolution 39, Stormytown Road Subdivision Road, whereas Chocolate Sky LLC currently has an application before the Town of Austining Planning Board for final approval of a 9-lot residential subdivision at 39 Stormytown Road. And whereas, as part of the proposed subdivision, the applicant will be creating an internal road to provide access to 7 of the 9 lots, which road the applicant proposes to construct to town standards. And whereas the Town Board has received input from its staff and consultants and has found that given the applicant will be constructing the internal road to town standards, the Town Board believes that it will be in the best interest of the town and its residents for the town to accept, upon fulfillment of specified conditions, an offer of dedication of the internal road in order to ensure appropriate maintenance and repairs to the road so that it remains in satisfactory condition over the long term. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby expresses its intent to accept an offer of dedication that may be made to the town only of the internal road upon completion of all the following. 1, the planning board grants final subdivision plat approval to the applicant, and 2, the entire subdivision, including but not limited to development of all the residential lots and installation of all landscaping and infrastructure, including but not limited to sewer, water, and stormwater, is completed as set forth of the plans approved by the planning board and the architectural review board, all to the satisfaction of the town engineer, the town planner, the town building inspector, and the town highway superintendent. And 3, all of the developed residential lots have been issued certificates of occupancy. And 4, the internal road is completely constructed to town standards and in accordance with the plans approved by the planning board. And any damage or wear and tear done to the road during the process of completing condition 2 has been repaired so that the internal road is in new condition, all the satisfaction of the town engineer, the town planner, the town building inspector, and the town highway superintendent. And 3, the applicant and or its successors and assigns have compiled with all the other requirements and conditions of any and all planning board and architectural review board approvals related to the subdivision. Be it further resolved, the town board does not have any intention to accept dedication, ownership, or responsibility for any other aspect of the applicant's proposed subdivision, including but not limited to the stormwater system, and the applicant must take the necessary steps as determined by the planning board to ensure that the stormwater infrastructure is appropriately maintained, repaired, improved, and replaced when necessary and perpetuated.
Do I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
So as we were discussing at our work session in August, we heard from Mr. Uchig with Chocolate Sky regarding the dedication of the road at their proposed subdivision on Stormy Town Road. After careful consideration with our staff, this resolution was added to our agenda for the board's consideration to indicate our intent to accept dedication of the road, but not the stormwater system. This seems to be an appropriate compromise given the anticipated maintenance necessary on the part of our town highway staff. Any further questions or discussion from the town board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. And with that, we have visitor recognition on any subject whatsoever. If you'd like to be recognized, please raise your virtual hand and we will recognize you. And going once, twice. All right, fantastic. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If I could have a motion to go to adjourn into executive session for advice of counsel.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you for joining us tonight. Next week, we will be back with a work session, continuing in our Zoom format, and we will see you all then. Have a great week and a great weekend and lots of fun things to get around to. So make sure you make some time to spend it in Austin. Have a good night, people.